Hi kids, it's Mr. Idovich. Today for reading, we're actually going to do some writing. So you will need a notebook and a pencil, and that should be all you need. I can talk you through the rest. So I will give you some directions along the way, and I'll pause when I'm writing. The first thing you're going to do is put a title on your page, and today I'm going to have you write about what superpower you would have if you could have any superpower out there. And so we're going to start this just by writing the word superpower at the top and then your name. So here we go. You can see I put my title in the center of the page, or as close to the center as I could, and then I underlined it because it is a title, and then directly underneath it I have my byline. So it's just the author's name. In this case, it's by me, Nicholas Heideggerich. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some notes. Okay, I'm not just going to start writing my paragraph right away because I want to be clear with what I want to write about. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually brainstorm. And I just want you to listen to this. Imagine that you could have one superpower, such as being able to fly, be super strong, turn invisible. Write a paragraph telling which superpower you would choose and the reasons for your choice. So we're going to start just by brainstorming. Okay. So I'm just going to write down some things that I might want to have if I were to be able to acquire or gain a superpower. So I will do that now, and then you can do that now too, or you can wait and look through what I have just to get some ideas. So this is the list that I came up with, and I came up with 5. Okay, if you don't come up with 5, that's okay. You probably want to have at least 3. 5 is a good number. If you come up with like 12, 13, 14, 15, that's fantastic. But then it can also be more difficult to choose what you want to write about. So in this case, I'm going to look through these 5 and I'm going to decide, or I'm going to think about, do I really want this ability? And if I did have the ability to fly, which would be more important to me? Would I rather fly or stop time? Would I rather fly or be invisible? Would I rather fly or be able to teleport? So those are the things you're trying to do. You're kind of trying to prioritize them. So I'm going to prioritize my list. It just means I'm going to rank them in order from 1 through 5. And then I'm going to decide whichever one I think I want the most, that's what I'm going to choose to write about. So let me do some thinking, and I will show you how I numbered mine, and then you can decide on yours, and we'll move on. I took some time to write numbers next to my list. So I kind of ranked them in order from numbers 1 to 5. Number 1 being the one I want most, number 5 being the one I want least out of the set. So invisibility came in 5th. Walk through walls came in 4th, although I do think that would be cool. Flying came in 3rd, although I think that would be super cool also. 2 was teleportation, but this one, the ability to stop time, for me is the most interesting. It's the thing that I would like to write about, or the thing that I would like to be able to do more than anything. So when I talk about stopping time, what I mean is, for example, if I'm late for something, I can just snap my fingers and time stops. Everything around me but me stops. And the only thing I would add to this is, if I'm going to have the ability to stop time, I don't want to age while time is stopped. So it sounds kind of weird, but if you think about it, if I could snap my fingers and stop time, and let's say I wanted to stop time for 3, 4 days and I wanted to take a little vacation, as soon as I snap my fingers, everything else stops. But then I have to wonder, do I keep aging? So if I stop time for like a year, would I be a year older when I came back? And so I'm going to add this in there because that's an important detail for me without aging. And so if you choose one, you know, maybe you say you want the ability to walk through walls, but you might want to be a little more specific with that, because do you just want the ability to walk through walls, or do you want the ability to walk through mountains of really thick walls? And can you figure out somehow how that might work with your imagination and your creativity? Obviously, these are not things that we could actually do, so I want you to be creative and imaginative, and I want you to be a little bit silly as long as you remain appropriate. But the only thing I will say when we start writing is sometimes kids, um, have some kind of violence in their writing. Just keep it appropriate, and remember, we're doing these superpowers, we're looking at them for things that could help us do good things in the world, not for things that could help us do not so good things in the world. So when we focus on our writing, we want to stay positive, we want to stay appropriate, and we want to stay respectful. So from there, we're going to move on, and I'll tell you what we're going to do next in just a second. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tell you, you can just skip a line or two, it doesn't matter. But when you actually start your paragraph, you want to come in usually about a finger's width. So when you start your paragraph, you'll actually start it right about there. And your first sentence you want it to be something catchy. You want to grab your reader's attention. So you don't just want to say, if I had any superpower, I would like to be able to stop time. You want to engage them right away so they don't want to put your paper down. So let me think about it for a minute, and I'll show you what I come up with, and then you can come up with your own. This is called a topic sentence. So I started my paragraph with, the ability to stop time is amazing and one every person should want. And when I write that, what I'm hoping to do is get people excited about what I'm going to be talking about. I want to grab my reader's attention. The next thing I'm going to do is try to support it with at least one detail. And if you have 2 or 3, that would be better, but one detail would be fine. So let me think about what I want to write, and then I'll come back to you. So now I'm on to my next sentence, or my supporting details, okay, or my examples. So what I said next was, if I could stop time, I would never be late again, not ever. I would not have to stress or worry about getting places or finishing my work. And so now I'm giving my reader some reasons why I want this ability and why I think everyone should want this ability. And so the last thing I'm going to do now, and I actually had 2 sentences in there. If you only come up with one, that's okay. But my last sentence is going to try and recapture or restate what my first line said, what my topic sentence said. And so all I'm going to do is kind of restructure this sentence. The ability to stop time is amazing and one every person should want. And I'm going to rewrite it in a different way down here so that I start and finish with almost the same thought. So give me a second to write that out, and then we'll talk through it. So what I chose to write is, for my closing sentence, this is why I believe stopping time is hands down the greatest superpower. And again, I'm showing my excitement with that exclamation point. So when I put the whole thing together, it stays on topic. It's all talking about the same thing. It starts with something exciting and it ends with something exciting. And it gives me some details in between. So from start to finish, it says, the ability to stop time is amazing and one every person should want. If I could stop time, I would never be late again, not ever. I would not have to stress or worry about getting places or finishing my work. This is why I believe stopping time is hands down the greatest superpower. So I'm going to add one thing to this. This is an opinion piece. Okay, so we've talked about different types of writing. Again, this is an opinion. So you're just trying to convince or persuade someone that your opinion is true or correct versus other opinions out there. So I'm excited to see what you have. We will talk about how we're going to present that when we talk in reading today. So just have this ready if you're able to, or plan on doing it right after reading, and I'll tell you how I want you to send it to me or get it to me or turn it in, so to speak. So thanks, kids. I hope you enjoy it. Have some fun with it. Who does not want a superpower? So again, just have some fun and be creative. Thanks, kids. Bye.